I flew halfway across the world to meet one of India's most inspiring entrepreneurs.
Hi, my name is Pratham, and I started a new age university called Tetr.
What Elon Musk is doing for energy and space, Pratham is doing for education.
At Tetr, students travel to a new country every semester and they learn business by actually creating a business. They learn by actually solving real problems at the ground and not sitting in the classroom all day long.
And not just this, students at Tetr are mentored by industry leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and Ivy League professors. And every semester, they study at top universities in each country they travel to. I came to India to understand his vision and tell the story of how he's redefining education. And while we're doing so, we're going to be exploring all throughout Punjab, which is where he's from, and it happens to be my favorite state in India. There's no place like India. The commotion, the smells, the feels, the taste, the smiles. I love it. Later on, we'll be traveling to Dubai to meet the students and see how they're living. And we have a big surprise for you coming your way.
So 2 of Drew's followers will be eligible to get a full ride, a full scholarship for 4 years at Tetr.
Worth $200,000 each. Don't go anywhere to find out how to apply. Before meeting the students, Pratham and I are diving into Jalandhar, one of India's coolest cities. It's a hub of Punjabi culture and non-stop energy where ancient traditions collide with modern chaos. And there's no better guide than Pratham because he's from here and this city inspired him to become an entrepreneur in more ways than one.
Just watch the street.
Yeah, that's something that I know well in India. Always look both ways.
All right, welcome.
Now we are entering his childhood home. I can't wait to meet his family and see the unique influences that shaped his life's passion for education.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
That's my grandparents.
Can we check that out?
Yeah, come. So that's my grandparents, and every morning we come here to just touch their pictures.
Tell me about your grandparents. What do they mean to you?
I think they set the culture for who I became later on, and they created a lot of rigor at home, right? Everything was about serving your community. Everything was about just making sure that whatever you're doing it at the best of your ability, and I think that transcends down from him and her.
I love that. Yeah. I feel the same about my grandparents. Wonderful. This is cool, man. This house just keeps on going. I don't want to film all these people.
It's okay. You can if you want.
Okay. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hi. Okay, so this is where you grew up, in this room. So
yeah, essentially.
Tell me what it was like growing up here.
This is a joint family setup. Literally, it's not just your parents raising you. I was raised by 20 of my parents, cousins and brothers and sisters and all of that. The sense of community, I think, that comes in Indian families comes from this, joint family setup.
All right, bros. This is not the city center of Jalandhar, is it?
No, it's a suburb of a suburb, essentially. This is where the Indian army puts up. We call it a cantonment. This is a market that actually serves the Indian military. And I grew up literally running around these small streets. And now we're going to enter the vegetable market.
Oh, all these fresh fruits.
This is literally farm to table, right? This is the farmer's market, but this is permanent. It's not like every Saturday or Sunday. It's every day.
The farms are around us, you're saying?
It's all around us.
It's all fresh.
Yes.
Let's get into your story more. So you lived here until age 18?
Until middle school.
Okay.
Then I went off to school in the mountains, which is what a lot of the Indians do, but did my middle school here. So these are all the memories. This is like childhood for me.
And when you were growing up, did you have a vision of to be this crazy entrepreneur, or you just kind of took things slowly?
Somewhere it comes in the blood, right? My dad was an entrepreneur, my grandfather was an entrepreneur, and we never even think about getting a job. That's how we are wired. When I was literally 3 years old, I remember sitting behind the counter of my father's shop. I'd literally be counting money, giving change to customers, taking in orders, when I was 3 years old.
I love that, and I think there's a misconception about India as a whole, because the US, we breed entrepreneurship, we breed innovation, we're proud of that.
Yeah.
But in India, as a whole, it's not so much popular, or is it? Are you telling me it is popular?
I think in India, everyone's an entrepreneur, right? India only has some 4 to 5 million white collar jobs. That's it. The rest, everybody is an entrepreneur. Either they're selling vegetables, or they're selling medicines on the street, or they're cutting hair. I would say India is perhaps one of the most entrepreneurial countries.
So when it was time to go to university, what was your thought process there? Study in India or go overseas?
I was open to both. I applied to universities in India, but Indian universities are very hard to get into. I actually got rejected from IITs.
Really?
That's why I ended up at Penn. While I was there, we had a bunch of courses. One of those courses was taught by this faculty called Adam Grant. And the way he used to teach was very different. No exams, no lectures, none of that. He would just tell us to build a small business. And one of those small businesses that we built actually ended up becoming slightly larger. One thing led to another. That project became a product. The product became a company. I ended up running that company out of New York for almost 10 years. And then I decided to move back to India to set up the first school here in India.
Wow. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now I'm trying to bring the best of both worlds, right? The scale and the large thinking of the US with sort of the grit and this hustle of India.
What's good? What are you getting?
I'm getting coconut water. Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Cheers, bro.
There we go.
How much was this, by the way?
$1.
Oh my God, dude. It's so sweet. How is it naturally that sweet? So education is in your blood because of your father, mostly. Tell me a little bit about what he did, what he does.
Yeah, so my father and my mother, they wanted to create a small college for their community because where we are, there are not a lot of colleges and universities here, right? So they built it essentially for the people who they knew, who used to live around them, who they worked with.
Before you were born, they built it.
Around the same time.
Around the same time.
And then so I essentially grew up on that campus, right? I saw how they built it brick by brick. I saw the kind of challenges they faced, and I also saw the gratification they got from educating all these people, right?
So your parents had this university, but did that translate directly to you wanting to do the same thing, or you just were kind of like enjoying the wave?
No, my first company was actually a software company, right? You know, as I was visiting my parents at the university more and more, I realized that education is just so important. And a country like India, there is so much white space. Like in the US, there are universities at every corner, right? And some of them are very, very good. In India, we just don't have that. In India, there is no university in the top 250 across the world.
Really?
For a country of 1.5 billion people. Now 1.5, I think we've touched 1.5.
Is it really? Wait, but so you and China are neck and neck. It's like
no, we beat China just recently.
Like less than a year ago.
Exactly.
We are now in the most populous country in the world. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, grew up here. I contributed to that number.
You did contribute to that number. It's overwhelming to me because India is about a third the size of the US and there's 5 times the amount of people.
5 times.
I mean, think about
exactly,
that. That's absolutely bizarre.
So in India, for a country of 1.5 billion people, to not have a single university in the top 250, that's a problem. So what I realized is that, you know, you can make certain fixes, you can bring in some innovation, and you can really build a world-class university from India.
That's very cool. So as a traveler, man, I've been to every country in the world, and if I can find one thing that I wish the world had better access to, it would be education. I think people learning how the world works, even just getting internet. I still think a third of the world doesn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Is that right? Or a quarter of the world?
Probably more, yeah.
It's just getting access to things. You know, learning on YouTube or just figuring out how to do things, colleges, schools, these are so important. And I think that's one of the ways that can lift the world out of poverty.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
No, absolutely. But you know, the way our colleges are structured, it's all about exams and lectures and slides and grades and attendance and books and all of that, right?
Yes.
And I don't think that truly leads to like learning. I feel that how you have like traveled the world, I think that's the best form of learning one could possibly have.
Absolutely.
How can you learn about the world by sitting inside of a classroom for 4 years, right? Education is one industry that has not changed in the last 200 years. Our colleges, our classrooms look exactly the same they did 200 years ago, and that's again a problem. Do you know, like back in the day, before we had colleges the way we have them today, what people around the world used to do for college was essentially send their kids on a 4-year quote-unquote grand tour of Europe, right? So they would start in
like the 1700s or
in the 1700s, like during the Renaissance period specifically. So they would start in Rome and they would learn about art and architecture. Michelangelo himself would come down and teach, right? It was super amazing. Then they would go to Venice. They'd learn about structural engineering, civil engineering. They'll go to Manchester to learn about textiles. Going through Europe, visiting these cities, working with the masters, visiting the factories, that was college, right? And the company, Thomas Cook, the one that we know, right? All of us have used it. It was actually started to conduct these college tours, right? So college was actually all about getting out of the classroom, out of your city and visiting the world. But over a period of time, it's become about being constrained to a classroom and just learning the syllabus, right? It's so dichotomous, it's so different.
Pratham really does compare to Elon Musk in many ways. Both are incredible innovators shaping how future generations learn and grow. While Elon builds rockets to explore new frontiers, Pratham's mission is to launch students towards brighter futures, helping them rocket to new countries to learn, thrive, and prepare for successful careers.
I really adore the audacity of his vision. He can think big, he can dream big, and I think that in itself is half the battle won for anybody. Yeah. The second is that he has this belief that he can do it. And that kind of mentality, audacity, I think that's just something I'm so inspired by.
Yeah. I love looking out the window in India, anywhere in India. There's so many things to look at. The feels, everybody kind of looks at you and smiles and gives you a head nod on the street. Such a vibrant culture. We made it over to the massive university that his parents founded 25 years ago, and I was lucky enough to catch his mom to ask her some questions. Very nice university. I'm impressed.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So when we were 7, this was opened.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like this that long ago. It wasn't this big, was it?
No, it wasn't. We started from scratch. We started with only one building. So now there are 60 plus buildings.
Wow. How many students are here now?
Now we have around 35,000 students.
That's amazing. That's a big university
That's
in
a
the
big
US.
university.
I mean, in the US. For
In
our
India
standards.
too. In India too. Because 25 out of these 25,000 stay in the campus. So in the campus, like we have hostels, so residential areas where the students are staying. It's a mini city.
So I have a question about your son. He's a very smart man.
Thank you.
But what was he like growing up? Did you always know that he was going to be this serial entrepreneur? Did you breed him into that person?
Not knowingly, but yes, subconsciously, I think the things were fed into him because ours is an entrepreneurial family, because we were practicing it.
Right.
So every day, in and out. So probably he grasped it in his childhood and he grew up to be an entrepreneur.
I love that. And how do you feel about what he's creating now with Tetr?
I'm excited.
Are you involved in it? Does he take advice from you, or how?
He sometimes when he's fixed or he gets messed up. When he gets a little fixed up or messed up, then he would come and talk to me about certain things which he feels that I can help him. But mostly, yes, he's doing his own and he's doing great. I'm very proud of him.
All right, you wanted to go to the bazaar, so we have to hop on.
We have to hop on to this manpower bicycle ride.
All right. You know, this is its own economy, and Tetr students actually have to go into the bazaar and actually have to negotiate their way to build a drop shipping business.
I love
So
that.
they actually have to go, negotiate, get products, which they'll send online all over the world.
Fully learning from experience. This is the main thing. Like working on social skills, that's the biggest thing. When you're in a classroom, like you're not like practicing how to talk to people.
Exactly. You're literally, the teachers tell you to stay quiet for 4 years.
Yes.
You can't learn by staying quiet.
Exactly. And how can you get things done if you stay quiet? This ride is iconic, man. This is so awesome.
Hanji guys, sorry. I'm in the market shooting with Drew on a
This is the definition of a hustler, of an entrepreneur. We're literally taking a call in the middle of our shoot. Because you're building a new age university, there has to be conflict with like the traditional way, and like to get a diploma, like if somebody tries to apply for a job, they're going to say, what is Tetr? How are you bridging the gap?
So we try to bring the best of both worlds together, right? So what we are saying, hey, let's travel the world, but at the same time, let's have the rigor of an institution, right? So that's why we have collaborated with top universities like IIT, like INSEAD, like Cornell, like NUS. And students will actually take credits and courses at these campuses. So it brings the best of both, right? The traditional academic rigor, as well as this hands-on and experiential education.
It's interesting. My best experience in my college years was studying abroad in Prague. I lived in Prague for 4 months. I had an amazing time. Of course, I loved also university, but that was when I learned about the world. That's what inspired me to do what I do today. And so I agree. I think that other universities are going to push for this narrative.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just you. Everyone says that their study abroad experience was the best experience of college. Right?
And basically what Tetr is, it's 8 study abroad programs back to back to back, right? Is that
exactly, yeah. It's 8 study abroad programs stitched together. Term 1 is in Dubai, term 2 is in India, term 3 in Singapore and Malaysia, term 4 in Ghana, term 5 in Rio and Sao Paulo, term 6 in New York, the term 7 in Milan, in all of Europe. And the 8th country, students can choose on their own, wherever they want to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is my favorite drink in India. It's called lassi. If I get the timeline right, you went to college in Philadelphia, you started the business that's still running now, but then you came back to India. What was your next business that you started?
So before I started Tetr, I started this college in Delhi called Masters Union, which is basically what Tetr is, but focused just with Indian students.
Got it.
And before starting Tetr, we did 4 years of Masters Union where we perfected the model, where we iterated the model and improved this entire experiential learning, right? So when we started Tetr, we were very convinced, we had a lot of conviction about how teaching should be, what experiential education truly means, how do you learn by doing, and we had the playbook.
And is it still functioning?
Yes, absolutely. Masters Union has 2,500 students in Delhi.
How many other 33-year-olds have started their second university? You must take a lot of hate. You must get a lot of people that are like, what are you doing? You're disrupting the way, or do you not? How do you deal with the adversity?
See, I know that once they visit the campus and meet the students, then they change their view if initially they had some sort of a controversy. So it
There's
takes
probably
time.
there's probably a lot of parents out there watching this that are like, no, I don't agree. I don't want to send my son to Tetr.
Which is fair. It's new,
Yeah.
it's bold, it's
Yeah.
very, very different. So you have to come visit the campus, meet the students, and really see what we're about. Then make a decision.
You are paving the way for the future. I feel like when we watch this video 30 years from now, hopefully it'll still be around on YouTube 30 years from now, I think we might be laughing about how far,
We have come.
yeah, exactly. Like, wow, I can't believe we were even having these conversations back then.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be so normal, I think. A lot of universities are going to evolve in the way that Tetr is.
Let me tell you something. If you look at the top 10 most valuable companies 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and 20 years
Amazon,
ago,
Google,
and
Facebook,
30 years
yeah.
ago, and 40 years ago, every 10 years, the list changes completely. But every 10 years, the top 10 universities do not at all. And that's okay. I mean, they're
Yeah.
doing a great job. That's okay. But if those rankings are not changing, that means the world is really not moving as fast as it should.
That's really interesting.
After a great few days in Pratham's hometown, we are now flying to Dubai to meet the students at Tetr. I'm really excited to meet them and see how they make the whole world their classroom. But here's the catch. Can these young, ambitious students convince me that their radical approach to learning is truly the future of education? Let's find out. Immediately when I stepped onto the campus, I was greeted by the kids, and they come from all over the world.
Qatar,
Ukraine,
Rwanda,
Greece,
India,
Nepal,
Canada,
Myanmar, Egypt, Kazakhstan.
Germany.
Whoa! I'm the only American in the group. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So how does it feel that you guys are friends with people from all around the world?
Diverse.
It's cool? Why is it cool?
Because it's so diverse. I mean, making so many new friends from different countries, learning new cultures, just amazing.
Is there any drama?
Yeah, all the time.
Has nothing to do with the countries though, where we come from. It's
For
just
sure.
personal things.
What's your favorite thing about the experience so far?
I think you can always have a college experience with classes and all the stuff that you do, but the people are never always going to be the same, and I think that's what makes Tetr so unique.
I think the immersions as well. Well, that's more specific to me because I think also others in general. But the general like getting in touch with the business centralism of every country we go to, specifically here in Dubai, what we got to do that was really impressive. Getting to hear from market leaders and all that, it was amazing.
How long have you been in Dubai for?
About 3 months now.
3 months. Do you feel like you got to know the city pretty well?
No.
No.
There's a lot of places we haven't been to,
That's okay.
but it's just a big city, it's an international
It's
city.
huge.
So we visited the most famous places, right? We have been studying a lot.
You're here to learn though, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You
why we
can,
did-
exactly.
No, but we explore a lot. We barely sleep. So yeah.
In free time, we like to socialize.
How's Tetr?
Tetr is amazing. It's a huge opportunity. I love the unconventional approach here. Building businesses, traveling to different countries. I don't want to limit myself to one place.
And has it been valuable so far?
Of course, it really has been.
I follow you since 7 years ago, and I went to the Czech Republic for 1 year because of you.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
man, were you there? What year?
It was last year.
Nice. How was it?
It's really cool.
Cool man. I spent the whole summer
Dobry.
there. Dobry den.
Dobry, yeah.
How's Tetr?
I enjoyed it. We got to do a lot of things like businesses. We also got projects and also like classes. Learn from like the top professors, experts.
Honestly, the networking opportunities at Tetr are like immense because just being in the World Trade Center, One Central, you have offices like Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, and Bain, McKinsey just around you with opportunities including, going to networking events such as GITEX, all sorts of expos and meeting new industry leaders. It's just very holistic.
Like whenever you experience things, it's not just about academics. We went to desert safari. We're just sitting under stars and just enjoying everything. It's way beyond what I had imagined where I'd be.
Did any of you have ambitions to do a university in the US or like a big 4-year program? Where were you thinking of going?
Actually, I dropped out to come here.
You did?
I was studying in Brussels. It was a really good university. But as soon as I got the opportunity to study at Tetr, I left in the middle.
Was it a good decision to leave?
Yeah, definitely.
How do they feel now, their parents?
Proud.
No, they're really proud. Yeah.
They are with us in the process of like going through the entire thing. It's pretty cool.
You seem to be a happy guy.
I am.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Philippines, a very happy country.
Which part?
Nice to meet you. I am from Laguna. Have you been to the Philippines?
My wife's Filipino.
Whoa! Have you been to Boracay?
Yeah.
Best place.
How's
Best
Tetr?
place. Tetr is amazing. I love Tetr. No word can describe how grateful I am for Tetr. Not only my classmates, the faculty, the curriculum, and everywhere. Imagine like building business in different parts of the world. insane.
Okay, as I understand, these students are in their first term. They're here for 4 months, and then after this, they will head to India. And right now, all the students are working on the same project.
Yeah, so all the students, they are working on building an e-commerce business, but everyone's working on building a different e-commerce business.
That's amazing. And there's teachers here, there's professors. So they're not just on their own.
No, so there are professors and there are courses, right? But all of those courses are meant to help the students run this business better. They're not taught a course just to take an exam at the end. They're taught the course so that they can run the business better. This is our wall.
Wall of fame.
Wall of ideas. This is our like cafe area. This is where students hang out.
How many students are in here? 120?
Right now 120, yeah. All of our students are here right now.
Oh, so this is cool. Like this whole floor is basically students.
Yeah, so this whole floor is students. We have our classrooms here. So he's the chief marketing officer of a large consumer products company called Dabur. And he's actually doing these mentorship sessions with students right now to help them understand how they can better improve the ROI on their dropshipping campaigns.
I'm the doing business part of Tetr, and I make sure that our students go from 0 to revenue in 16 weeks in every country they go to.
So you're going to travel with them to all?
Yes. I make sure that they make a lot of money.
And how's it been?
It's been amazing. Our students have made like more than $15,000.
So I'll take it away.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay, we tried. So they're making real money.
They're making real money.
And they're keeping the money.
Yeah, of course they keep the money. What we do is we facilitate it. We give them all of the resources, all the mentorship, a little bit of a seed fund, and then off they go and they set it up. It's a different business model in every country that they go to, and they build everything from the ground up.
What are some of the challenges that you've seen the students face so far?
Obviously, running any business is hard. A lot of the cross-cultural differences, that's a big learning curve for them and for us. Because typically when you build a business, you work with people that are similar to you. Here they're being thrown into the deep end, and they have to learn how to work well with other cultures in a new environment, setting up a business in a different country, learning how things operate.
So we've created a dropshipping store. We're focusing on home goods that make your life more convenient. For example, we have a collapsible collection. So this is collapsible cups, collapsible mugs, collapsible kettles, if you've never seen one. So we've given unique names. For example, this is a heat fold. We're pricing it around a bit lower than the market standard so we can draw in customers, and we're trying to make very nice convenience store that is persuasive for customers to feel like they trust us.
And how does your family in Kenya feel about you studying at Tetr?
Okay, the person who dislikes it the most is my grandma. She keeps on calling. Every time I call her, she's like, are you ready to come back home to quit? I'm like, no, it's fun. They were very worried about traveling as a woman especially, but how Tetr has handled it, they're very happy with the experience.
And are you enjoying the experience?
I am truly enjoying it. I feel rushed though. I feel like I need more time to enjoy the city.
Okay, so our brand name is Taflo, and we're selling ultra-thin wireless power banks and these smart glasses, and we're also selling smart rings. So this smart glasses, we're selling them for $50 at the moment.
And so where are you buying them and where are you selling them?
Buying them from China through Zendrop, and then we're selling it to people in Canada and the United States. And revenue, $16,000.
Oh, that's cool, man. You guys have made $16,000?
Yep.
And you guys are 18?
I'm 17. Yeah.
Wow, when I was 17, I was in high school and I was working at a golf course making $6 an hour. So to make $16,000 would take me like, it's impossible to make that much in a year, even if I worked full time. That's crazy, bro. And how does that feel to make money at 17s?
You know,
like you're in college, but
it wasn't in my mental capacity that I'm gonna be making money at 17. Then the fact that I am, I just can't believe it. Thanks to Tetr.
From this 16,000, this is our revenue. It's not all profit.
Yeah, I understand.
Probably around 25% profit, net profit. But the ultimate goal is reaching 100,000 and taking $25,000 grant from our founder's pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm rooting for you. For that, they have to get to 100,000.
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
Do you agree to give them 25,000?
Absolutely.
They're leaving Dubai in a month, but they can continue this business.
It's up to them, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, the deal is that they do really well on their business. We give them some more seed money. They do even better on their business. And then eventually they donate back for future students. Of course. That's the deal.
Sure.
I'm super inspired hearing all their stories, like seeing it and feeling it. It's awesome.
Yeah. The best way to learn business is to build a business, which you're already doing, and just keep doing it, right? There is no one who can teach you as well as you can teach yourself.
What's your experience been like at Tetr so far?
It's been great. Students are fantastic. The faculty's fantastic. The entire setup seems to be pretty dynamic, pretty interactive, pretty collaborative, which is rather unique for an undergraduate program, which is kind of good.
I mean, this is essentially a startup. It's the first year they've done it. So Has it been challenging at all, or has it just been normal to teach the kids?
It's been fine. It's been absolutely normal. It's been great. There's a number of different things that they've got going on at the same time, it seems. So it's much more collaborative and interactive than it would be if it were just a traditional
Right, and have you seen that with the kids? Like they're excited to learn and they're collaborating with each other?
Yeah, they seem to be excited to learn, but not necessarily just learn the theoretical parts of what we're talking about, more the application and practical parts of it, which is fantastic. It actually bridges, how to do things versus actually doing it, which is great.
You guys are enjoying your Tetr experience. Tell me about it. What's it like to walk outside of your campus and be in the heart of Dubai?
I just can't believe it. There is no university like Tetr. Practical, global learning experience. We get to be in a place where, everyone's in like very interesting and big industries. No matter how many times I thank Allah, it's never enough. I just have to keep thanking Him. It's never enough. It's a big blessing.
This is an amazing experience because I don't know where else can you experience such things as having 45 nationalities in one class and moving from one country to another, feeling this exceptional experience of diversity and speciality of every country. The way that they chose Dubai as a first semester is really mind-blowing.
That's amazing. I'd love to hear all these things. I studied abroad in Prague. For me, like the experience studying in Europe was like incredible when I was 20, and I always think about how it changed me, and you're currently living that, but you're on 8 study abroad terms, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, now we are heading to the Museum of the Future. I've actually never been there. They're gonna show me the Museum of the Future, and we are getting in an Uber right now. It's really cool that we're standing at the Museum of the Future, and Tetr is a concept for the future and it's paving the way for the future of education. That's cool. So tell me about like the friendships you've made of the people here.
For me, I was always friends with like Arabs only. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's normal to be friendly with people that your country,
But here, I got outside of my comfort zone. I started exploring more cultures, meeting more people from like all around the world. And I really connected with them.
Yeah, I met some pretty good friends as well. I would say it was not easy at the first because we were like 120 students in one batch.
It must have been really overwhelming to be like, hi, we're gonna be together for the next year.
Yeah, and for the first like weeks, probably, we didn't even know each other's names. So it was kind of like, we were getting to know each other. But I've made some good friends in the batch. Another category of people, which was like who are a lot older than me, and that was a new experience for me. And also people from completely different background.
Are you the only Ukrainian here?
Yeah, I'm actually the only Ukrainian here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you most looking forward to in the next few destinations? So you have India next. You guys have like Singapore, you have Rio de Janeiro, you have New York.
Ghana, New York.
Ghana, that's crazy.
Yes.
So which one of those excites you the most?
So I'm really excited for India because India is known to have like one of the hardest markets to crack. If you can open a successful business in India, you can open a successful business anywhere in this world. So I feel like this is a big challenge for me and I just can't wait.
For me, probably it's going to be New York. I want to feel the scale of a big city. I think that New York is going to be an interesting experience as well. As same as in Dubai, but I'm sure that it's going to be different, just different. In terms of scaling of the business, going massive. Also that we're going to have an activity with Shark Tanks, for example, and the Silicon Valley, which is mind-blowing.
We are now heading inside the Museum of the Future. Let's go. What does it say in Arabic on the walls here?
وتطور, development.
I think it's like partially designed, but there's like hidden words inside.
Yeah, it's all hidden words. It's very complicated.
So you guys enjoying your Tetr experience?
We are.
Tell me, what's been your favorite part about Tetr so far?
I feel like one thing Tetr does amazingly is the connections they build, the impressions, the immersions we get. And it's been great, learning while doing.
Nice. And how about you? What's been your favorite part so far?
I think just the opportunity to connect with so many different people and the unexpected encounters that come out of it. It's kind of like a breeding ground for serendipitous encounters and serendipitous
big
moments.
Words. Yeah. Breeding ground for serendipitous encounters. Look at that. How old are you?
22.
22.
Just turned 22.
I don't think I was saying those words when I was 22. Tell me, what is this building in front of us right now?
That is called the Myriad. This is kind of the hostel where us Tetr people are staying at.
Nice.
It's a pretty crowded place. Again, breeding ground for serendipity. And there's students from all over the world.
Oh, so
staying
it's
here.
all students here.
Yeah, this is an academic dorm,
Oh, cool.
but there's people from many different universities kind of in the area staying here.
So you get to also like make friends while you're here, not related to Tetr.
Yeah.
Would you mind show me your living quarters real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You know what? My college dorm room was messy as hell, so I hope it's like messy. Doesn't need to be clean. G. All right. Incognito.
Yes.
Keep the hat on.
There's a woman in the building. Oh, by the way, the ground floor, there's going to be like a study room and an activities block, so I can be here.
Okay.
Here, for example,
So, yeah.
mixed
Okay.
study rooms.
Got it.
That's where you can get together to work
Nice.
and study.
We're going to do a social experiment. How long until Myriad Security notices that there's an imposter among us?
There's a camera already.
All right. Now there's a camera on the camera.
And this is our room.
Okay.
That's it. My roommate should be inside probably. Yes, he is. Oh, look at him. He's
God.
cleaning.
What's up? What's up?
This is
What's
so
up?
illegal.
Yo, I'm crashing your room.
This is
Wow,
our room.
this feels like I'm in college.
It
really
is.
does. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey,
You good?
get in the room all the time.
In it.
Chilling. You know what's funny? We've got our flags here, yeah? So I've got my UK one. We've got the home country. Oh,
Ecuador?
Ecuador, bro.
Yeah.
You've been, right?
I've been,
I
yeah.
want to hear the stories.
So you guys got randomly paired up as roommates. You didn't know each other before coming here.
We met actually in the London meetup before we came here, but most got like randomly shuffled.
And how is it living together? Is it good? Is it bad?
We have very different lifestyles, but it kind of complements each other. Whenever I go to bed, he comes like home, and when I go to
That's
bed,
adorable.
it's kind of complementary.
Literally, I really liked the conversation we had on the first day. And that's really why we wanted to be roommates. Since then, there's been some time.
Did you guys bring this?
I brought that. Yeah, my mom gave it to
Bro.
me for like 12th birthday. It's like handmade.
Dude, you know what's crazy about what you just said? I got inspired to travel from a globe in my 10th birthday that my parents got me. But but it's like a lamp. You touch it and it lights up, and you touch it and it gets brighter. And I still have it next to my bed. But it was my 10th birthday gift.
Yeah, that's like,
See what I mean?
I've
Wow.
been taking that with me.
See what I mean?
Somebody's gonna be the-
Serendipitous.
Meeting the students of Tetr has been an incredible journey. Their ambition to transform education and push boundaries is nothing short of inspiring. From the vibrant streets of Punjab to the golden stage in Dubai, this story shows that with bold ideas and determination, there are no limits to where learning can take you. All right, guys, as promised, Pratham is offering 2 of my followers a 4-year scholarship for free to Tetr. All you have to do is click this QR code or the link in the description down below to apply for this once-in-a-lifetime amazing education and experience. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.